We're live. We're live, guys. We're live.
Hey, everyone.
Uh-oh.
Hello, friends. And welcome to the Vintage Rescue Squad on my channel this week. I have Michael, my co-host down below me, who we all love and adore, our little Michael. Next door, I've got Danni, the niche lady, and then I've got Miss Pamela Blanchard.
Hey, y'all.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with Danni, and then we'll go to Miss Pamela, and just let everyone know where they can find you and a little bit about yourself.
Start with who?
Danni.
Start with Danni.
A little bit about myself. Well, I am the niche lady. I'm on YouTube as the niche lady, of course. I'm trying to get better with Instagram. And I am the niche lady over there. And I have been selling online since pretty much the beginning of eBay. Since the day eBay went public, that was the day for me, October 1998. And but I have spent a lifetime in the reselling world. So here I am.
Well,
She's
and Danni,
still selling away.
she is. She sells on eBay. She has live sales. Are you selling on Etsy, or is it? You're
Yeah, I cross list, basically from eBay and push it out.
Great. Well, I think that it's great. I think it's good to have a bunch of different eggs in a bunch of different baskets sometimes.
Oh yeah.
All right, Miss Pamela, you want to let everybody know a little bit about you?
Yes. I'm Pamela Blanchard, and I'm just Pam. It's my name on YouTube. And I have been a reseller for a pretty long time, probably 15 years, at least 15 years. And I sell on eBay and Etsy, but my favorite thing is to do the live sales like we all have. I love that because you get to chat with people in your chat, and it's more of a personal selling thing. It's about as personal as you can get without selling to somebody in person, like in a brick and mortar store. Yeah. And I like it much, much better, much better. It's more fun to shop, and it's more fun to sell that way. And I have a precious daughter named Kelly Michelle, and she helps me with my live sales on Saturday nights. And my son-in-law, Mark. And we are just one big, happy little Brady Bunch family.
And Miss Pamela's, Danni, tell everyone when you have your sales, and then Miss Pamela will go down, and then we'll get to like what the topic is. We'll let Michael do the little introduction to himself too. But Danni, when are your live sales? Because that's what that's like kind of the topic. We're going to kind of talk about live sales, buying and selling via live sale. So Danni, when are your live sales?
So my sales are Fridays at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Mm-hmm. Yes. I do it every Friday. I did my one last Friday. Tiffany Thrifting Vegas and I, hey Tiffany, I saw you over there.
Yeah.
We got a booth down at this thing called the Vintage Market that is a once a month thing. But I'm like, oh shoot, I've got to do my live sales. I literally sat on the floor in a little corner of the booth doing jewelry for my sale.
Whatever works.
You got to do it.
Taking a chance, taking advantage of every given opportunity. Now, Miss Pamela, when are your sales?
My sales are Saturday nights at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, every Saturday night.
Every Saturday night. And Saturday nights are game nights for me, and I always miss Miss Pamela's sale. Sometimes I pop in, and then everyone that I'm at my friend's house, and they're like, "Get off the phone, Misty," and I'm like, "Oh."
I'd much rather you be having fun with your family. Much rather.
We love our game nights. We do love our game nights. Carrie says, "Is it just me, or do the emojis look gigantic?" I don't know.
I don't know,
Carrie girl. The emojis are huge. Well, I don't know why. You got lots of emotions, I guess, with the
new YouTube feature, giant emoji.
Oh gosh. Michael, you want to tell everybody a little bit about you, where they can find you, and when your sales are?
Yeah, so I am Michael Todd, The.Cult.Of.Vintage, of course, on YouTube. Every Sunday night, I host the Vintage Bunch, which is a culmination of seven of us from both YouTube and Instagram. And the players are all the same, but the roster changes just depending on availability. And that is every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, I am here Monday nights with Misty, and we are on a rotational basis. So every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're not tired of me, you can catch me again Tuesdays at 1 p.m. on the Threes Company sale that we have with myself, Misty, and Michelle. Michelle Comfy Cozy Living, and that is at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh,
Michael, how could we get tired of you?
I
Come
know.
on.
And I talked to
Sometimes I get
Michael
tired of
about.
myself. I'm just like, ugh.
I talk to Michael about 800 times a day, and I never get tired of him. So
He's come a long way since we had to twist his arm to even get on YouTube, hasn't he?
yes,
And
he has.
And I used to always go, the one sale that I was able to always go to, even after I started back to work after the pandemic, was Pamela's sale because we were closing at 7. So it was like everything was perfect timing. And now we don't close until 8. So it's just such a regret in life that it's that one sale, and it was the end of the week, that it was just always that something to look forward to. So if you guys have not catched Pamela's sale with Kelly Michelle,
You're so
you
fun.
guys are missing out on life. Like, if you need a laugh,
Yeah.
you need to attend that sale.
She lifts me up. Like, that's a Saturday night lift up.
Thank you so
It's
much.
almost like you're going and you're getting a big hug. It's like
Yeah.
you're getting a big hug from your favorite auntie. You know,
That is so sweet, y'all. Thank you.
you have a really
The truth.
kind nature, and really you have an ability to really make people feel like that you're giving them a hug. Yeah. So you have
That's how I want them to feel. I want them to feel like they've been my friend forever, and they're just in my house having fun with me. You know.
I
That's
think
what you're doing.
that's definitely happening. You definitely have a gift.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And you've passed that down to Kellyanne too. Because
Oh, she is sweet.
Yeah.
She's a lot sweeter than I am most of the time.
We
That
need
Kelly
like
Michelle.
vlogging between the two of them. I'm saying, like, we need like a day in the life of, like, y'all need to keep the cameras rolling. And I'm telling you, I know y'all be cutting up.
Ooh, we are. I don't think it's ready for YouTube.
Would there be lots of beeps, Miss Pamela?
That would be plenty of beeps. Plenty of beeps. It would be full of beeps. Much as I hate to admit it, yes, it would be full of beeps.
I think
YouTube now allows moderate swearing. I mean, we can't, it's the context, but we can actually curse and still be monetized. I haven't looked into what we can and can't say.
Well, we probably can't say the F word.
No, that would be out.
That probably would be out. I mean, if we try to avoid cursing as much as we can, but sometimes it just happens. Demonetized beeps. Beep, 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 beep. So the topic of tonight, what I want to focus on a little bit, and what I want to say to those of you that are in the chat, the 4 of us may be here up on the screen, but if you are in the chat, you are just as much a part of this conversation as we are. And I'm going to do my best to put a question or a comment or something that you want to add on the screen, but please talk to one another in the chat. You can talk to us in the chat. So yeah, it very much, I want it to be a community discussion, if you will. So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about live sales in general. We all have live sales. We've all really grown to really love them. I know for me, eBay has taken a big seat to the side. And the live sales have really kind of taken full center. I have a live sale twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week if I'm joining Michael on the Vintage Bunch. So, when you're selling sometimes 75 items a week, there's no time between your selling and going live, previewing the stuff. There's no time to take eBay pictures and stuff. But you know, I got a lot of people asking, well, how long do you think the live sales are going to last? And have you guys gotten like questions about that, or what do you think as far as, well, how long the live sales going to last, kind of thing? What is your input on that, Danni? Or have you thought about it at all?
You know, it's funny because I come from like a brick and mortar auction background, and I can remember, 25 years ago, there was chatter that, oh, this is going to be phased out. People are going to stop coming to auctions. And here we are, like, auctions are just as popular as ever. And I think it really comes down to what you're bringing to the sale.
Yeah.
It's those sellers who are able to read their audience and know what things people are not going to stop coming, because you're still bringing the stuff that they love. And as long as you evolve and keep going, they're not going anywhere.
Right. Miss Pamela,
I think it's like Amazon to me. Yeah. I mean, Amazon is not going anywhere, and people, I think they like the convenience plus the almost one-on-one, making a relationship with somebody. And it's like buying from a friend. I mean, sure that they can go out to an antique store or something, but people aren't going to stop buying on Amazon, And I think if they can get things that they like at a comparable price to being at an antique mall or going to their local auction or something, I know I would much rather go to one of y'all's sales and buy something that I was looking for, as I had go out and hunt it down myself and buy it from somebody I don't even know.
Yeah.
That's true. It means more when you buy it from somebody who's a friend. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. DMB said you should have a live sale with random guests from your friends. They could sell things on right along with you. The thing with that is that in general it would be a wonderful idea, but at the end of the day, we were talking about like being demonetized and stuff like that. And so you kind of have to be a little careful with who you're bringing onto your channel, I think, a little bit, because you just don't know. I've learned my lesson the hard way when it comes to that. So, what do you guys think?
I think most people don't want to get on camera too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that it is a really good, and I think that would be just what Danni said. It's kind of like, I think that there would be people that would maybe do it, but then they would be so few and far in between that there would only be so many people that are comfortable getting up, on camera, really having the personality to project that and really connect with people, irregardless of not physically seeing them, but connecting with them, knowing that they're there as people. Yeah. And I think that's a big part of selling is really making sure and doing the YouTube videos. It can't be like you're talking to yourself or to a wall. You have to, there are people, and that's, people are always like, oh, thank you for taking this along. And I'm like, thank you for being there, because I literally am like, no, I'm talking to you. Like, you might not be here, I'm talking to you. You might not physically be here, but I'm talking to you if I'm filming, if I'm selling. So there's a lot of that, though, too, that goes into it.
Mm-hmm. Do you sometimes, I know that I do this, because, I'll talk all the live long day, I'll talk all the damn time, I'm a talker. But
she said a word.
I think that one's an okay. But when I'm out shopping and stuff, and I'm talking because I'm filming, but I always will talk to the things and talk to everything. I'll talk to the wall, I'll talk to anything. But you kind of sometimes feel, once you know who your customer base is, sometimes I feel like I'm shopping and I'm like, oh, look at this, Randy, or oh, look at this, Sarah Lee, or and you feel like you find things and you think of that person.
Yep.
That's the thing that I love so much about it, though, too. You almost, in some little way, you kind of feel like you're a personal shopper, I guess. When you build up who your customer base is. Mm-hmm. Now, listen, Nanny Fufu. Now, I want this to be like an open and raw and honest conversation. Nanny Fufu says that she prefers the live sales and no auctions, and that's okay. That
All
is
clean.
absolutely okay.
Yeah.
One of the things too I want to talk about, like every one of us here, all four of us, we have live sales. We do things differently,
Right.
and every live sale will have someone that does something differently. And I know that Patrick, Trusty Huckster Mercantile, he has sales on Thursday nights, and he doesn't do auctions. His are straight.
No.
So Nanny Fufu, if that's what you prefer, then you're going to go to his sales because you know that's what he does. And I think that that's not a bad thing. I think that that's what you prefer. No, that's okay.
Yeah.
I started doing my thing. I start everything at $1 because that was, I wanted to come up with something that was just like my own little claim to fame, kind of thing. So I do like the $1 auctions, and that's my thing. And I also like, I hate it when I can't get a number in fast enough to claim that thing that I really, really, really want.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other reason that I just did mine auction style, to give as many people as possible the chance to get that thing at a price that they can pay. And so that's why I do what I do.
Yeah, some
Right.
people prefer the claims, some people prefer the auctions, and then at the end of the day, we're not going to be able to make everybody happy,
I'll tell you what, though, I just did a sale with Miss Pam down here, and it was actually really nice. Just selling something with the number and just like, oh, that was so easy.
Yeah, you do kind of forget. You do
It
kind of
is.
forget.
Mm-hmm. Doing a claim.
Let's see. I'm gonna try to pull up. I know I'm like passing up a bunch of things here. Question. All right. How long have the YouTube live sales been going on, and who was the first to do them? Now, wait a minute, Michael. Wait a minute. Okay, maybe on YouTube. Within our need.
Our community.
But
Okay,
I wasn't the inventor of the live sale.
They were going on over on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I started like toying with kind of the live sale kind of a thing, and getting involved. And then I'm like, oh, this is happening on YouTube too. Oh, and I think it's been 2020 was like the year of
forever.
Let's come up with creativity. Let's face it.
Right. Well, I know I think it's been about 5 years ago now. There was a YouTube channel that I followed because of their reselling information. It was kind of like y'all on this thing where you would get together. It's like 4 or 5 resellers would get together and they'd talk about reselling on eBay and things like that. And it was Mothership Products was the main guy's name. Mothership Products.
I like that.
And they were the first people I had ever seen doing, but they were all auction style. I mean, it was, and then he'd have one where like 4 people would do it, and they'd each take a turn, just like you do, if you have 1 or 2 people in a sale. But that was like 5 years ago. But it never once entered my mind, because they weren't doing strictly vintage. They were doing like anything, you know.
Yeah. I think with the vintage, this way. Where are you? Where's my camera? Oh, this way.
Yeah, you're never gonna figure it out. StreamYard is just crazy.
Up and down is the only way that, I mean, if they're not above you or below you, like forget. You're like
this girl right here though made it cool for the vintage.
Yes, I agree.
You did claim it. It's yours.
But I have a really hard time taking compliments, though. I do. I always have. It was just it was an idea because I had closed my brick and mortar store, and I had all of these things that I needed to get rid of. And
it was creative. It was your entrepreneur brain going,
Well,
and we thank you for it.
And I like to talk and I like to interact with people. So it was just kind of everything. Now, and when I first started doing them, I was not selling. I mean, I sold maybe out of like 15 things, I would sell maybe 3 or 4 or 5, so it took a while for it to really, and then I was always trying to get, you guys, you should do this. And so I was trying to get, everybody else to do it too. And I was happy to see it. And I still am. I'm always happy to see people kind of going out there and trying it. And sometimes people will say, well, there's so many live sales, it's just taking money out of everybody else's pocket. I just don't see it that way.
I don't either.
No. It's funny because I did one as a fundraiser. I was only going to do one, and I wanted to do it as a fundraiser for my foundation. And it went so well. Everybody's going, can you do this again? Can you do this again? I'm like, oh, I guess I can. And I started with like jewelry and stuff. I was really comfortable. Like no matter what it went for, I didn't care. And then everybody's like, sell some glass. And I'm like, oh, I don't think I want to sell my glass. And then that went really well. And I'm like, this is a little easier. I don't have to take pictures of it. I just got to clean it and have it ready to show you guys. And
I'm
going back up to the comments.
It's made me really lazy with eBay though. I have to really make myself each week to sit down and do my eBay stuff, because it'll get you spoiled, because it's so much fun getting ready for it. And then plus, interacting with everybody on Saturday nights. It's not that the sales are so much better.
Yeah.
It's just that it's more fun for me personally.
Yeah. Still work, but it's
much more fun.
Well, and I hate taking the pictures. See,
I know because I have help. So I just gotta get they wait on me to give them stuff, to do. Right. But I want to do more eBay auctions for those people who can't come to my sale, and so I am really trying to get eBay ramped back up.
That is another.
George is good at that. George is doing real good at that.
He is. The one, and I've done this before though too. One thing that you could do, and it does work, because I get a lot of questions. People say, "Is this available in your eBay store? Is this available in your eBay store?" So you can do a video and show some things that you're just listed on eBay or just going to go on eBay. Sort of like what George does, like this, it's going to go on eBay, and then your audience kind of a call to action that they can now go onto your eBay store.
What they miss with the YouTube terms, a call to action, folks.
Well,
she was watching a creator video. Missy was watching a creator video.
No, I have never, but I know what a call to action is. Like call to action. Like when I first started doing YouTube, they would always say, make sure that you remind your subscribers to subscribe. That call to action. So that's always just popped out into my head. And
like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe.
All the time. And it's funny though, too. Do you guys ever feel like you end your videos the exact same way?
Yep.
Or you start them the exact same way, or both?
Yeah.
And then you're like, if you don't do it, it's weird. Like if you don't say this certain thing, it's just weird.
It's like if you forget to tell them to subscribe, you're going to lose 2,000 subscribers.
I don't. I do not. I actually don't. I do not tell anybody to subscribe. I don't say like. I don't say comment. At the end of the day, if you're not digging what you're seeing, it doesn't matter what I say. And if you dig it enough, then you don't need me to tell you to subscribe. You know what I mean? And I've never needed, for anybody that I've subscribed to on YouTube, it wasn't because they asked me to subscribe. It's because I was like, I'm going to subscribe because I want more. I think the call to action is good if you want to draw specific attention outside of the platform, so far as if you want followers on Instagram, if you're on Instagram and you want them to come over to YouTube. That to me makes sense.
Right.
Or if you're going to promote a live sale, that is a call to action. Yeah. But so far as in the data, I'm like, but that's kind of what YouTube is for. Like, if you like it, you'll subscribe. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. But then when I'm editing a video, if I don't put that little subscribe button in there, it's like, I got to do it. I gotta do it.
I was surprised at the amount of people that think it costs money to subscribe to you on YouTube.
Really?
Well, and that kind of brings me to something else I kind of wanted to say though too, because do you guys get a lot of emails? And this isn't only just for the four of us, but everybody that's in the chat that has content. Do you get a lot of emails from people wanting to know what or do you get comments, not emails? Do you get comments on your videos, people wanting to know what your email address is?
Oh, I have mine in my description because I encourage. I don't want people to wait for me to list something. I want them, like, if you want it, email me. So I don't have to do all that stuff.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. I get a lot of people wanting to know, and I would guarantee everybody here and everybody, all of our emails are in the description of our videos.
Right.
And I think
and so you're saying people still ask because I think they don't know how to open up.
I don't get anybody asking that.
Well, and that's one thing. Well, I'm not going to do it all. But there is, you can, if you're watching on your phone, there's like a little arrow that it'll show like links and all those sorts of things. And it never drives me crazy. But sometimes I'm like, it's in the description of my video. I've already put it in there. But also I wanted to say too, and this is very, very important. If you are trying to message like someone in there, like, because I've gotten a lot of, if you've sent me a message, or I think Danni probably does this as well. Don't send an email to us through eBay. Right? Yes. That's a big thing. I get a lot of people sending me messages asking me about certain things.
Yes.
eBay, and eBay does not like that.
They monitor that closely.
So if you send me an email, I won't respond to it.
I will respond to let them know I cannot communicate with you about an item that is not in my eBay store. And I leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just try to find the email address. Yeah. Oh yeah. Gia said, when I first started doing when I first started doing my live sales, people had to email me.
Yeah, I remember that.
So silly. We all learn. Katie Girl says, do you worry that there are too many sales? Michael, what do you think?
No, I don't. Because it very much is, at the end of the day, it's a lot of what Danni was saying. I think what would really expedite, I'm going to go back to the beginning of one of the first questions is how long do we think it'll last? It would not last very long if it was just like, say, the four of us that were selling, because at the end of the day, YouTube is very personality driven, and people would they would get tired of it because they would want more. They want a variety. And that's exactly what is happening. Is that there's a lot of different personalities. And as Pamela said, like Amazon, you can go to different live sales and you're going to find different things because we're all different people. We all have different interests. There are definitely similarities because we're buying with buyers in mind. But I think that's actually what helps the longevity of something, is when you have variety, when you have diversity, when it's not just one kind of person, when it's a multitude of different people at different times, different days, because not everybody can make a Tuesday at 1. People can make, a Friday at 8. People can make a Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, but they can't do a Sunday at 8 p.m. So that is helping in the longevity. It may seem as a seller like, oh my gosh, there's 40, 50, 60 people. How am I supposed to stand out? And the way that you stand out is by really bringing the stuff that people are interested in buying. Yeah. Because you can have 100 things and you can sell 100 things at $3 each, or you can sell 15 things at $60 each. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's really about honing in and focusing and not getting the stuff and thinking, well, that's good enough. If you're thinking that's good enough, it's not. I look at something and I'm like,
do you guys see that? Do you get like thousands of views on the replays of your live sales too?
Yeah.
always amazes me too.
Yeah.
So people are watching it for entertainment and to learn like what you're going to say about the things and learning about things and seeing what it goes for. So it is entertainment too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You say that now, Randy. Tomorrow's a new day.
Oh yeah. Oh, and let me tell you this, because I watch a lot of live sales too, mainly like when I'm working and stuff, I'll have them on and stuff. And sometimes I'll like pop in or I'll like bid on something. And I don't always like to, because sometimes I feel like, because I can't really, I'm working, so I can't really stay and engage. And so I'm just like, kind of like I'm watching, but and this has happened to me too. And please don't please don't do this. Please don't do this. If I'm in a sale and I or Michael or Danny or Miss Pamela, if we are in a sale and we are bidding on something, and don't then stop and say, "Oh, I'm not going to bid on it because Misty's bidding on it." Oh no, you bid. You
speak for yourself, woman. What are you talking about?
There is, unless it's a turtle, then everybody back off. But there's a saying for auctions: there are no friends at auctions.
Nope. Nope. Michael,
I'd bid against somebody else, so don't feel bad about bidding against me.
That's right. I won against Michael. So
we would have went 2 rounds last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I went against Randy last night.
I fell asleep on that witch. I fell asleep. It's so funny because I fell asleep with my phone in my hand and I had my headphones in because I was laying in bed. And it was like on one of your old videos, Michael. And I was like, what, where am I? So I fell asleep. I missed the witch. Yeah. Oh, Gracie said, Misty, I will take you down if I want to do it.
Go, Dinah.
Do it.
Now, last night there was something that I wanted, and I was just like, I think it was during the yeah. I hopped in. I think she started at like 45, and I was like 100. I was like, nope, I want it. And you know what?
That's where it was gonna go. That's where it was gonna go.
I had seen someone in the comments saying that, and I'm not going to scroll back up and find it, but I did see it. But they said that it's hard for the newbies sometimes to come in to the live sales because it seems like the same people are winning over and over and over again.
Right.
It's hard for them to win anything, that there's sales that it's like the same person is winning over and over and over again. And I mean, sometimes you just got to throw out a number. And
well, but this is the thing though too, though, honestly, because there are people that, yes, I get it. We see it. We know it. Hello, Amy. Her ears were ringing. Girl, her ears were ringing. But they get used to the timing and the rhythm of it all. Do you know what I mean? And they do. And a lot of the people that are very successful and continuously winning, they are aggressive bidders.
And you know, it's no different than going to a brick and mortar auction house. Like the first time you go, there's regulars. There's people who know that auctioneer. They know how they're going to run things, and they learn, when to put their bid and how to put their bid and all that stuff. And it's the same thing. You have to learn, like you're saying, like the flow, the rhythm of how it's going. And then you could be one of those people too.
Yeah.
But you have to practice, and you just got to get in there and throw an elbow up and boom, bring it.
Yeah. And you have to, like when I go to a physical auction too, there's always that little bit of competition too. Like there's certain people that I see walk in and I'm like, not today. Not today. You're not getting it, and I've overpaid because I didn't want them to win. It's happened to all of us, but I think that it's really important to have a number in your mind that you're not going to go over and stick with that.
Yeah. Yeah, except for my sales. I forget your numbers.
Scott sits on his hands so he can't type.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, Linda, listen, there have been times when I have gone to auctions where I've had to like call somebody and say, can you bring your car? Because
me too. I've had to really watch it because, see, I have to depend on poor old Mark You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I feel so sorry for him that, having to work as much as he does and then go and haul my mess around. So I've really been good about that, not buying things that I cannot haul back myself. But buddy, there was a time, you can ask Kelly Michelle, when good Lord, it was Facebook Marketplace, it was online auctions, it was in-person auctions, it was everything. But they have a life. You know what I'm saying? They have a life, their self, that I have to be mindful of that. I'm sure he don't want to spend all his off time hauling mother-in-law's crap from one place to another.
Well,
but you're a good mother-in-law, I bet.
Well, this is true.
I bet you cook him a good meal from time to time.
Yes, and I promised him one next week. He's on evenings this week, and I messaged him a while ago and asked him if he was on days next week. So I've promised him a good home cooked meal next week.
Listen, and Kelly Michelle will agree. It's good to have a good Mark in our lives. I got a good
Honey, yes.
I got a good Mark in my life too. He's so patient. He's a saintly man. He's a saintly man.
It must be something in the water.
Yeah. Randy Girl asks, is it better to preview your items? Do you guys do that? Do you preview your items before you have a sale?
I try, but I fail. I really need to get better at that.
I kind of, you know what? And that's so funny because that was something that I was literally thinking about right before we came on.
Yeah.
Because I did not, like, when we first started, I didn't post previews. You had to show up to know what it was that I was going to sell. And you did not know moment for moment. And I don't know, I do now, but I don't know. I'm just like, sometimes I like doing it when I have the time. And other times I feel obligated because then you got to set it up. And then you're like, well, what items do I want? And what filter and what music? And then you're sitting there and you're like, no, I don't like that. Delete. Let me do it again. You will sit there for 30 to 40 minutes sometimes trying to get it to look a certain way. And then you just get to like minute 40 and you're like, I don't even care anymore. Post. Like.
I know. I just take a couple pictures and that's it. I don't worry about the filters. I don't worry about now when I do a reel on Instagram, I'm trying to find a cool song. That sometimes can take forever. But if you're doing an Instagram reels, if you just like I typed in like Broadway songs or songs from the 80s or songs from the 90s, it'll like show you like because you're trying to think, what song do I want? I don't know. But you
type in a color, red, blue.
Right.
If you take type it in.
Put a song. What?
Yeah.
Oh, reels.
You got to have that music. That's how people connect. It's the universal language.
It's an Instagram thing. And I don't really want to necessarily focus a lot on Instagram, but gosh, I think that I pretty much do a preview of everything that I'm selling every week. Everything on Tuesday, everything on Wednesday. And I do it the night before. I only do it the night or the day before. I don't do it any earlier than that. Because that buzz.
My advice for new people or smaller channels that are trying to get more people to their sales would be to at least highlight your best items in your sale.
Yes.
Draw some, intrigue and excitement. You don't have to show every single thing, but and again, I go back to the brick and mortar auction house because that's my background, but that's how they would entice people. They don't show you everything that's in the sale. They're going to show you the best stuff that's in the sale to get you to show up. And then you got to sit through like everything. And then you go, oh, I like that too. Yeah, I'll bid on that.
That is solid advice, Danni.
Yeah, well, if Amy's Rock and Pop Shop, she has the best reels. Oh,
she multi-filters out. Oh, Amy's on point. She's like, let me add this filter, save. I think I need to add another one. Like, Amy's on point.
She is. I saw Kelly Michelle had a question up here, and I'm scrolling.
Oh, Michelle's out there.
Yeah, where her is? There her is. What year did each of you create your YouTube channel? Ooh.
I started mine like 6 years ago, but I did a lot of stuff, but I never monetized because I was like, I don't want to make anybody sit through a commercial.
Right.
Then I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I am doing all this work and all they have to do is sit through a commercial to get all this content. So I didn't get serious until December 2019.
Oh, mine was 2 years ago. I just looked, and look at that.
Look at that.
Ooh, that's
Oh
really
my
nice.
goodness, you brunette you. Is that brunette or red?
It was red. It was auburn. So you could go back and look at our very first videos. All you have to do is go to videos and do the little filter where it says sort, and you can go to the oldest, and you'll see the first videos. Now, Michael's first video is good. Okay. He like thoroughly thought his out and introduced himself. Mine is a shot in the wrong direction. I not edited. None of my videos were edited. I didn't know how to edit for a good year.
Now I'm curious. Now I got to go see what my first one was.
Like,
I don't
okay,
even
I'm
remember.
gonna go creep on you.
Yeah, listen, go back and watch some of our old videos when we first started. And seriously,
Right.
if you were doubting, like, oh gosh, I can't do that, go back, because everybody, like I've said this before, everyone has their very first video. Everyone has their very first sale. Everyone has their very first start. And the more you do it, the more you get comfortable. Don't you remember, Miss Pamela, how nervous you were?
I've had people tell me, oh, I'm so nervous. I'm going to mess up. I said, let me tell you what will give you a little bit of dose of confidence. I said, you go to my channel and you sort it from oldest to newest. You go back and you watch at least just 2. I said, it's going to take you 2 of my videos from then to be able to put your glad rags on and get on there and do something. But I'm telling you, it was, I mean, how my family didn't have me put in a straitjacket and committed is beyond me. It's just beyond me. Kelly, Michelle, and Mark thought I had lost my ever-loving mind.
They're like,
I lied.
what is
9
Michael
years
doing now?
Mm-hmm.
9 years ago is when I started. I'm like going,
I started my channel in February of 2017, but my first video was 2 years ago. Was my first video.
Yep. Kelly Michelle saying, Mama. Let's see. Oh, I didn't do, okay. I missed your store update in friend mail. I did it on Instagram. I opened up friend mail on Instagram today. And that's still on there. It'll still be on there. I probably will have a shop update video on Monday, but all I've done this weekend was price things, and that would have been a boring video. Boring. So I didn't do one today, but I did walk around, on Instagram. Michael, how did you get so many followers so quickly on YouTube? Look at that face. I mean,
have you heard Michael's laugh?
Do what?
I said, have you heard Michael's laugh?
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, look, at the end of the day, and I'm not, no shame in my game, and I'm always upfront about it. The reason that my channel grew so quickly is by association. At the end of the day, I had eyes from Misty, from Michelle, from Jocelyn, from a multitude of different YouTube channels. All of the eyes were drawn and they were pointed at me, but through the grace of those individuals. So I am always and forever will be appreciative of that. So that is how it happened. And with that, because it was such a quick surge on the channel, YouTube graciously decided to promote the Cult.Of.Vintage. So it would pop up in recommendeds and it would show up in your top feeds. And that really helped expedite it too. So everything is kind of evened out at this point. And I really feel like at this point, I think in the last month, I really felt like I have full ownership over my channel, if that makes sense. Not that anybody was telling me what to do with my channel. That wasn't but it feels like it's wholly mine now. Like all of my growth is me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
this is mine, you know, and I'm really starting to feel more of my true self in the videos. And I think that that's really starting to come through in the last month.
Yeah.
I would like to think.
Well, and that's what you can be on, another channel that got views, but at the end of the day, if somebody doesn't connect with you and your personality, it doesn't matter.
That's
But,
true.
you'll still kind of flounder and try to find your way. But it was that along with your personality, Michael. It was just like, this guy is fun to shop with.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, don't count yourself so short, Michael. I mean, and Jamie had a good point too. You had a fan base before you even started your YouTube channel. You were very active in the chats. You were very participatory in sales and things. So I mean, you had you had a little bit of a fan base before you even started your channel.
That's very kind of you.
Let's see. New England Thrifter. I'm doing my first live sale next week with Julia at Perfecting Pearls. How do you decide who wins an offer up? Do you use your phone? Well, yes, I would absolutely use your phone as a backup.
Yeah.
Because your phone typically will show it in real time.
Yeah.
Your computer can be a little delayed, as in like the dreaded lag, the lag. So I think it's good to double check, and maybe even have somebody that is as a moderator that can help you double check that.
Yeah, and I was going to say, can we just give a shout out to all the people behind the scenes that are so willing to help us all out with these sales and moderate and help us call winners? Like, I could not do it without them.
Because it is a thankless job. Let me tell you that right now. I mean,
it really is. It really is. But I think that it's important though too to have like, it's important to have people that are moderating your channel that you have given permission to moderate. Like, I think that when you have 15 people in the chat saying this person won or that person won or sold to this, or that gets very, very confusing for your buyers. So I think that
it does.
Having just one general, like when we have our sales on Tuesday, we have a bid end person, and that's that one person that we've given permission to. I think there can be a lot of muddy issues when it comes to there being lots of different voices coming in through the chat. And I think that just having that dedicated person makes it easier to follow. And that person gets permission from the content creator. Don't just take it upon yourself to, put in all these things. I think it's important to get that permission.
Yeah.
Be active as a seller and just say, I need somebody to be the official bid ender. And if it's somebody that you know that you can trust and that's going to be there, then say, I am assigning this person as the official bid ender, please, out of respect. And just, I get confused by it because I'm like, what?
Yeah. And sometimes the lag will be different. And so sometimes it's wrong because, I mean, we've all done it. We've all done it. I've announced the wrong person as one. I can't tell you how many times. But
StreamYard is fairly accurate though with the real time. I've only seen it mess it up maybe twice in all the time I've been doing this. It's pretty spot on.
And I do want to say though, I see Katie, I want to give a little bit of shout out to Katie Vintage and Vinyl. Make sure that you're subscribed to her channel. She's lovely. I just love her. She is the one person that will always hop in there and share. She's doing it. She's done it tonight. People's links to their channels. So she's a lovely.
She's a little treasure. I'm telling you that.
She is. And I'm hoping one day I get to meet Katie. That's like one of the things on my bucket list. I want to go meet Katie.
Katie, you can come up here. I ain't messing with that Florida weather.
I'm going to Florida in November, but I think Katie will be a little too far away because Katie lives up in the kind of the northern part, and I'll be down in Naples, down in the swamps.
Ooh.
But in November.
At least you won't get more of that ocean breeze up there in that panhandle. It gets like, well,
Yeah.
Pamela knows she up there in Alabama.
Honey.
No, ma'am.
Wow.
You see me? You see I moved position to get underneath this air conditioner vent tonight.
I honestly got a wind blowing on me.
I said, well, I need to let people know that I do have more than one room in my house. And, I don't want them buying stuff from me because they think I live in a one-room shack. I probably need to at least let them know.
I want to know why Kelly Michelle isn't standing next to you waving a fan on you.
I do not know. She went home. I tried to call her earlier and let her know that I was going to be on and for her to come down here. But she, sometimes she has a pretty stressful job. So sometimes she goes home and plays with Queso a little bit. And then she takes her little nap so she can be up and talk to Mark a little while and eat supper with him when he comes home.
Yeah, that's
so. But now I see that she called me back when she got up or whatever she was doing, but I told her I was on here, so now she's in here wreaking havoc on everybody in the chat.
She is. I love her. Joan Braun says, "How do you know if you should set a price for an item or do the bidding thing?" Well, I do all mine are starting price at my sales. I very rarely will I do a straight claim. But I do all mine at a starting price.
I do mine based on how in demand the item is, how hard to find the item is, or what I had to pay for the item.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Based on, those are the three things that I base it on. Like if I had a swung base, for instance, and I'm not going to set it at a price of $25 and just let anybody. I'll put that as an offer up because I know there's more than 5 or 6 people that come to my sale that would want that.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
What about you, Danni?
I start everything at $1.
That just blows my mind. That just blows.
Well, it's a risk. It's definitely a risk.
Yeah, I've eaten it on a few things, but at the end of the day, I can sell 50, 60 items, and some stuff goes for way more than I thought it would. So it all balances out.
Yeah, it does. It typically does. I think that sometimes, though, it's kind of a dance, though, because I like my sales to be over within a couple hours. I don't want it to go on and on forever. And sometimes, like which I'm not selling this, but if I were, I just knocked over my squeaker. If I were to sell this.
Okay, she's starting this at $10.
No, I'm not going to, I mean, we'll be here all day if I started at, $6. So I'm going to start it, depending on what I paid for, I'm going to start it at a fair asking price, but I don't want to be here all day either.
Well, see, what's involved in my sales is my regulars, they know how it's all going to go down. They do what's called a power bid. So they don't they'll go 25, and get the ball rolling.
And I like that. And I like that, Danni, because I've also thought it's kind of a cool thing to do. And sometimes it happens without even asking it to happen, but you let the bidders start the price. Mm-hmm. So, and you're kind of doing that by starting everything at $1. I mean, really, you're kind of they're jumping in and they're saying, $20,
Right.
Yeah. They're going to do that. So,
that scares me.
What?
I just can't get over it. I mean,
starting everything at $1.
She does well.
She does well with it, though.
Mm-hmm. She does really well.
Maybe we should do that one Tuesday, Michael.
Michael would break out in a hive. He would be head to toe hives.
Okay. I do want to say, people were asking about the YouTube channels. Katie has been so gracious to put them in, but everybody's channels are linked in the description. Their Instagram and their YouTube channels, they're all linked in the description. So when this goes off, you can go right over there and subscribe to their channels and follow them on Instagram as well. Susan, oh wait, I didn't answer that question that I just had up. Crap. What was it?
She just liked my voiceovers, and thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I do like them better too.
I I don't know if you watched my video today, but I had to do a little bit of a voiceover today, Michael. I know.
She hates a voiceover.
I hate doing a voiceover. I don't hate
Doing
doing
them.
to have
She
a
doesn't, yeah, clarify, yes.
but sometimes at Goodwill you have to. You just have to.
My issue is that my son edits my videos for me now. So to do a voiceover is me going back and doing the whole editing thing again. So
Yeah.
I really try to avoid that.
I just like filming in antique malls and flea markets much more. But Goodwill videos are the ones that just
I just cannot figure that out. I just cannot figure out that
I think
the
it's because
popularity of those.
people have a Goodwill that they can go to. They want to see what you can get for the cheapest price. But I'm telling you what, you can get things for a cheap price at an antique mall.
Yeah. Well, just wait. I'm going to get my chain of thrift stores open that are going to be reseller and YouTuber friendly.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right? Go, Danny, go. Katie asked, how do you deal with people saying they won an item, but they did not because of the lag? Oh, that's happened to all of us, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, that's happened to me.
And people have gotten a little snippy during the live chats.
Yeah.
Well, I find that usually we don't even have to do anything. It's other people in the chat that are the ones that are going to be like, no, you didn't. You know what it means? It's just a lot of times you don't even have to say anything other than, no, just make sure that you're in live chat. Just make sure that, you're refreshed. And then everybody else is quick to be like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, and you see it 20 times and you're like, okay, maybe I did not win it.
Well, and I think sometimes if someone posts a negative comment on your YouTube channel, sometimes you just kind of want to leave it there because I know that y'all will start.
I'm going to put them right to the top. That's what we're going to do from now on at Cult.Of.Vintage. I'm pinning them.
Yeah.
I struggle with keeping the negative vibe there versus letting them look like a fool and get called out because
I know.
I think you can have fun with it though. Look, you got to have fun in life, and that's the best medicine for those instances. And I was going to do it the other day, and I was so upset with myself because my immediate reaction is I don't want the negativity there.
Right.
But if I don't foster that negativity, like if I just take a step back as a person and try not to get up in my feelings about it, I'm pretty good at being able to answer somebody back with like humor versus being like, well, listen, let me tell you, like.
I always want to say like, I bet you're fun at a party too, or something like that.
Yeah, why not?
See, I can't answer them. I just have to block them or remove it from the thing because
Here's the thing though.
I'd be ugly.
If someone leaves a negative comment and they mention, like if someone were on my video and they left a negative comment about Michael, I'm probably going to show Michael that first. I mean, I'm probably going to delete. It's like, we know that you're saying these things, just like on Jeffrey's videos, that horrible Misty. I hate that horrible Misty.
But that's so weird to me. The idea or the concept of saying I hate somebody, like, based on what though? Like,
you have to just laugh at it at the end of the day. Honestly, it's coming from it's coming from a place deep within that person. It's a projection. So if you just look at it that way, I'm not going to say that it doesn't like sting a little bit when you see a not very nice comment on your video, but at the end of the day, they don't know who you are just by watching your 20-minute video. So just, if you're going to be negative, then just save your energy, because it's going to end up getting you blocked and it's going to get removed, at least on my channel. And if you talk dirty about somebody else on my channel, that's also going to get removed.
Do you have
that's what will get me mad. Do what, man?
Do you have filters set so a lot of those comments don't go public right away? You could.
I do.
I'm gonna watch your comments now, Michael.
I have certain words.
And thank God, but through the
And
grace
names.
of that, people have been kind enough to be like, "Did you see this?" Because I don't. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can
And nobody's
only
trying to sell
apply.
Bitcoin on your comments
Do what?
yet? Have you gotten those? The digital
Oh,
currency
yes.
people, and then
Or
they have
just
all these
bait
accounts
me.
that respond.
Mm.
Yeah, I've seen
You'd be
it.
surprised, Randy.
What'd Randy girl say?
She said she couldn't believe that anybody would be
Oh.
negative about me.
Yeah, I know. I can't see that either.
Oh, honey. I had one.
Who are they?
Got one on there now that I didn't take
When
down.
will you
before.
send me their names? I'm gonna go find them.
There are some really miserable people out there.
All right, everybody,
Very miserable.
go and search for that comment. Bring out the pitchforks and the church torches. Let's get them, you guys. Nobody comes for our Miss Pamela.
Usually it's from us not it says something like selling junk and
Or porn.
trying to talk it up and selling
Oh.
junk to people and peddling junk and trying to talk it up like it's something somebody would want or
I
something.
get told to color my hair.
No,
People
you
pay good
don't.
money
I
for
do.
that color. People pay good money
Yes,
for
they
gray.
do. Yes, they do.
Hair is one of my filter words.
No way.
Are you
That's
serious?
crazy.
Yes.
You get that many that you had to put a filter in for it.
It took 3 years to do this. I'm not going back to coloring it.
No.
Yeah, because then you got to grow it all out again if you don't like it.
And it's
Right?
expensive.
If you go back 9 years, you'll see when I colored my hair, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. Yeah, the Junking Danny girl says I remove after I take a screenshot.
Wow. I suppose we have like a little
Bothered me a lot at first.
collage of them.
It doesn't bother me anymore. It really doesn't. And like the whole thumbs down, I don't even pay attention to the thumbs down. I could not tell you what a thumbs down count is. I don't look at it. I don't care.
No, baby, you don't get thumbs down. Remember, that's people with fat
Engagement.
fingers.
Yeah,
That's people with fat
Yeah.
fingers, and they hit it by mistake.
right.
That's what
I'm
that is.
flattered. I'm
Yeah.
flattered.
It's engagement. So if they leave a comment and it's
Yeah.
nasty, it's engagement. They leave a thumbs down, it's engagement. And you just carry on and you're making videos because you enjoy doing it. And who cares about the negative?
Right.
There is a lot of negative too. I'm not gonna lie, there is a lot of negative. Angela says thoughts on buyers who haven't paid their invoices, and do you see them buying at other sales? Girl,
That's not cool.
who
I
wants-
have never had anybody that has not paid me.
I've had it.
Never.
I can count on one hand how many people have not paid me. It doesn't happen very often.
I've got quite a few, but I work with people too. It's like, so it's not just not paying your invoice. It's not paying your invoice and not communicating. But
Ghosting.
yeah, then to see you go out and be buying from another person, like that's just etiquette. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing this to make a living. Like that's what I think a lot of people don't understand. It like this is our business. This is how we pay the bills. Is selling this stuff. So, and we can't get that time back. Like we spent that time selling whatever's on your invoice, and we can resell it, sure, but that robs time away from something else we could be selling and making money. So,
Well, I think a really important thing to do if you're having a live sale is to have a policy and stick with your policy.
Mm-hmm.
I give people 3 days to pay. If I don't receive their payment within 3 days, I will send a reminder. And my reminders are automated, but I will manually send out a reminder. After 6 days and I still haven't received a payment, then the item is put back up for sale and then the buyer is blocked and they can no longer purchase from my live sales. I think that you have to stick with that. Now that's not saying that I don't, like if someone sends me an email and they say, they make arrangements with me in advance, that's fine. And I have been very blessed to not have had people that have taken advantage of that. So,
Right.
but I think that it does get it does make you a little sore when you are still owed money from someone and you see them actively buying in another person's live sale, and they've either seen the invoice, because we can tell when you've looked at your invoices. We know when you've seen your invoice.
You can?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't. You can go on PayPal and you can see when it's been seen. You didn't know that?
No. I don't know that I'm going to do that, because that might just make me some kind of way. Like, I'll be like, I know you saw the invoice this day, this time. So now I'm going to deduct that from the time you had to pay it, because you haven't seen it. So there ain't no 3 days left for you, honey. There's 2 left before you can pay it.
Yeah. Well, and this is Bree has a good point too. She's had a reseller contact me as a backup bidder when the winner didn't pay.
Yes.
Yeah, how to do that.
I typically won't do that, because that's time I have to take to go back in that video, pull it up where it was, watch the things, and I'm just going to resell it. I usually will put it back on the shelf and sell it within the next couple weeks. This week tomorrow I have an item that I've never heard from the person. And I've asked, do you know who this is? Because we all talk to one another. All of us in the reselling community, we have a stream on Instagram that we go to. Does anybody know this person, this person, this person? But I think that we shouldn't have to do that. Please just send your contact information. If you go to a live sale, just go ahead and send it. You may go ahead.
I have a policy in mind. Like, I no longer will accept bids from somebody I don't have their information from. Like, I have a pre-registration thing now, and that's really solved a lot of the problems.
Yeah.
I actually
that's hard to police for me. That's hard to police. Like, I don't remember.
Yeah, it is. I have somebody checking them. You know, my daughter checks them for me during the sale when somebody's bidding.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I have actually been writing down for the higher ticket stuff.
That's a good idea.
If I don't recognize the name, and I've learned my lesson the hard way at doing that, is that writing down who else is actively bidding on something, because there have been a couple of times we've come through, with the exception of one time. So I usually will write down at least one name as a backup, if you will, so I don't have to go back through the video to view it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very hard, Kelly. It is hard. It's hard to police. That's just like when, and I know the whole just in case thing is another controversial thing, but when we ask people that if they are doing a just in case, they've been the ones that are actively bidding, that's so hard to police as well. I mean, at the end of the day, we're trying our best we're really trying to make it fair to everybody.
And that's where our hearts are. It's like, we want it to be fair and fun for everyone. I was talking about this today in my live about how every policy and rule and law and everything you see was not made because of the people that do it right and are considerate of one another. It's made for those people who don't. And that's kind of how we learn along the way of, this is happening. I got to put a policy in place to prevent this from happening, kind of thing. So.
Yeah. Sweet teas. Hey, sweet tea, Teresa. Do you package before payment received? No. No, I'm sorry. Yes, I do. I do. I don't. I pack it up, so I'm giving you exactly what the shipping cost is.
Me too.
I don't want to shortchange myself, and I don't want to overcharge you. So I have a system. I do all the packing. I have Emma. I pay her to do the invoices. I just pack my boxes, stack them up, and she sends out the invoices.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to have a system. I too, and this is another thing too, to me, your shipping is the most important part of your job.
Right.
So you've got to get your invoices out as soon as you can. And the thing of it is, you get your invoices out and you get paid. So that's your
concept.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have my sales and Thursdays are my shipping days. This past week was a little bit different because I had a sale on Thursday, which is normally my shipping day. Fridays are my shopping days. So I had to, I was a little delayed, but yeah, you have to get your invoices out and right away. It isn't fair to yourself. It isn't fair to your customer to make them wait. And sometimes if you make them wait, they probably aren't going to pay.
That's true.
They're like, I got what? From who?
When?
Within 48 hours is the general.
Yeah.
Unless you're like doing like you do multiple sales and then you wait until after the last one, or like when I was doing the sale with Pamela on Saturday, I didn't invoice my Friday sale till Sunday because I wanted to combine things, but generally it's within 48 hours is pretty good rule of thumb.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you, Janet. Oh, wait, thank you, Janet. Now listen, Janet.
Oh, that was sweet, Janet.
Janet and I are going to be doing a live sale here in a couple months. I'm going to be doing one with Danni and with Miss Pamela. I've got it all booked. I'm booked up through December now.
Wow.
I'm no longer doing solo sales.
Obviously not.
I'm not. I love the dynamic of a duo sale. It
is fun.
Yeah.
I'm selling less. I'm not selling as many things, but I'm having so much more fun doing it.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more, it's giving me a little bit more time to get some things on eBay. And I don't know. I just really like it. So
yeah, I do too. I like it.
I am tracking numbers. Okay, Lucinda, I want to talk about this. Do you guys send tracking numbers out? Like, do you send an email? And you can answer this in the chat too, not just the three people on here. Do you send a separate email for tracking?
I like sends that out.
I put mine in PayPal.
Yeah.
Yep, I do too. But I want to say I've gotten a lot of emails from people that are asking me about tracking, like if they haven't gotten their package yet. So I think one thing, if you're a buyer, to make sure that you have your notifications turned on in PayPal. If you don't, and it's a setting that you have to go in and check the little box that you want notifications, and they'll be emailed to you. So if you're not getting those, then that's probably something that you have to go into PayPal and make sure that you're getting notifications.
Do you guys have, I have a question for you guys. You have, because before I started reselling, I had PayPal. Then when I started to resell, PayPal was like, wait a minute, you're getting too much money here. You need to enter in your social for tax purposes. So then they made me get a business PayPal. And this is what I've noticed. If I enter in tracking information, I cannot invoice from my personal PayPal anymore.
Yeah.
I can only invoice from my business.
Right.
However, when I update tracking information in my business, I have found that the business account is not sending notifications to my customers. So I literally have to update it in my personal, because then it'll say, yeah, email notification has been sent to your buyer. So I've always, I stopped updating everything in business. I have to invoice through business, but I have to update in personal. I don't know why.
Why aren't you using Pirate Ship?
I don't know.
Look, I
do both.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I get the savings so far as it makes it cheaper.
It isn't much cheaper.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That, I can't, I think people that have received my stuff, I don't overbox things so that you're not getting a 12 by 12 by 12 for a 3-inch figurine. I really try to make sure that it's papered, it's bubble wrap, and then it's cocooned in paper. I'm a huge fan of the packing paper, but it's another step that I honestly don't have time for. I don't.
See, I use the Pirate Ship because I've set up all my what do you call those like the little, like, yep, this is how this is shipping kind of thing. I just push a button. But the biggest thing is that the insurance that I get with Pirate Ship is $100 versus $50 with PayPal.
Right.
And it's a better insurance.
Yeah.
If I have to go over, which a lot of my people buy a lot of stuff. So it's the claims are so much easier. So
Yeah.
that's just kind of why I
jumped over the claim through Pirate Ship.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that might be worth it that alone.
I'm done with the post office's claims. I even go. They taught me my lesson.
It's a mess.
It does. You don't. You just. I don't even bother. I don't even bother.
No.
Here's a refund. It is. I'm out the money.
Right.
I
know.
Mm-hmm.
It really sometimes isn't worth the headache. And the thing of it is, and Scott's gonna laugh. Scott, be ready. He already knows what I'm gonna say. The thing about the USPS is there have been so many resellers, or I shouldn't say, there have been a lot of resellers that probably have been like, they didn't package it very well, or they like put a frame in a poly bag, or, you know, something like that. And then they just tell, if it arrives damaged, and then they tell their buyer just to file a claim. Just file a claim. Just file.
But the biggest problem is that they changed the online claim form. You can only upload one picture. And it used to be you could put all the pictures and back up what you were saying. So that's why everything's getting denied now, because you can only put one picture. That's why they're making them bring it in.
But I think that the USPS,
I can't do that. I can't.
I think USPS has gotten so many people just filing these claims, because people haven't been shipping things properly. So at some point, they're going to have to be like, wait a minute. We're giving all these refunds to people and they're not shipping the stuff properly.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the USPS doesn't toss our packages like footballs. I'm not, because they do a lot of the times, but I think that, you know, we have to make sure that we're packaging things properly. You have to have the right materials to ship breakable items. Shipping isn't. Danni has lots of really good shipping videos on her channel.
Yes.
So I mean, go and check if
ship done.
Yeah, if shipping is something that which it is, when you're selling vintage and antiques, it's very scary. But watch her videos and they'll help you feel a little bit more comfortable, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
With that. What should I do if a reseller promised me a discount on the next item I purchased but keeps forgetting to give it to me? Just email them.
Ask them.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm guilty of that because I forget.
Oh God, I have a notebook. I have to keep things written down. Not everything gets written down in a notebook, but it sometimes.
And the thing for everybody to know is when we send that invoice, we can edit it. So if there's a problem, don't pay and then tell us.
Right.
Email us, tell us there's a problem. We can fix the invoice, do the credit, whatever is messed up, and then boom, it's all taken care of.
Yeah.
Katie got a piece of wood bubble mailer. Now listen, you can do a box inside of a bubble mailer. It isn't necessarily always going to be cheaper to do it that way. But if you're packing, my opinion, this is just my opinion, but if you're packing something breakable and if you're putting it in a box and then in a poly bag, the post office is going to toss it around like it's in a poly bag. So if you're
everything's going to get tossed around, everything.
You need to put it in a box and not a box in a poly bag, because they're going to flip those poly bags around. They're just going to. So, yeeks. Oh, that probably broke little Nate's heart. Nate's in the chat. Nate, it's okay.
Oh no.
Okay, let's see here. Holy cow, Katie. I use bubble wrap, packing peanuts, and shipping paper. Joanne, I would.
Oh, don't you peanut shame me, Michael. Don't you peanut shame me.
No.
I don't like peanuts either.
No, but I will say the only time that I've gotten packing peanuts is from this woman right here that I liked. Because I'm going to tell you what, she had the cornstarch one.
Yeah.
And I was like, honest to God, I was like, did Miss Pamela actually put cookies in here? Like I swear to you, I opened it and I was like, is there cookies in here? It
Do they smell
smells like
good?
yes, they smell like fresh baked cookies.
And they do dissolve in water. I've tested them.
Yeah.
They just dissolve right away.
Because someone said you can eat packing
I
peanuts.
don't want to eat cornstarch. That's
No,
weird.
no, I wouldn't eat them.
It can be eaten if you needed to.
I mean, if you were starving on a deserted island, I probably would, but
I mean, I just wanted to get some biodegradable just because if I'm going to have to use them sometimes, I wanted them to be like that. And so I tested the bag first and I put a whole handful in a big old quart bowl and they were gone. I mean, they just went away.
And that's funny because that's my reason for not using those, because I'm always afraid that if the package gets wet along the way and then they shrink, then I've lost the...
Yeah.
I just use shipping paper and bubble wrap. And by the way, if you need bubble wrap, American Bubble Boy is a wonderful bubble wrap company. I have
American Bubble Boy.
Oh, yes, Miss Pamela. I have a link in the description of this video that you can get a discount.
there's a link in every description video.
In everyone. They ship within 2 days. So you will get your bubble wrap within 2 days. They're American made.
I think Pamela heard you're going to send me an American Bubble Boy.
Well, I was just wondering, you know.
They are wonderful.
I'll check him out.
Yeah, American Bubble Boy. And I usually get 4 rolls. And it's like $38 for 4 big rolls. And get the small bubbles. The small.
Yes.
Does anybody know where Fatbird finds? Because see, they told me to wait till they got back from their vacation, but those girls work. You know, I mean, they work in a day job.
Full-time
So,
job. Yeah.
does anybody know where they get that stiff green paper from?
No.
It is really thick and it is really good. I don't know. I'll try them again.
I just use the brown. It's not craft paper. It's packing paper.
It's like newsprint. It's
thicker than newsprint. I get it from work. I get excited for shipment just so that I can take the package, like, because we would just throw it away.
Yeah.
I save it now.
I'm weird and I like the feel of crinkling the paper in my hands.
I do too.
You know, I just love that. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'll ship sometime. I mean, on Thursdays, I'm usually shipping for about 6 hours.
Oh.
And I just love the sounds of it. And I like the sound of the tape gun.
You are weird, aren't you?
I know.
Oh, Kelly hates the sound of the tape gun.
I love the sound of the tape gun.
She'll cringe if she's down here and I'm doing it.
Well, and I have recently discovered, and I didn't think that I would like it, but I do, is I get the tape that you wet down.
Oh, yeah.
And then put it over. And I get it from Sticker Mule.
Yeah.
And it lasts a long time. But then I bought myself a dispenser that has like a little well of water in it because I was taking a sponge and that was taking forever. So I really like it. It's like the same sort of tape that you get on your Amazon boxes.
Amazon.
Yeah.
It seems really strong. But yeah.
And easy to cut open though, too.
It is. It is easy to cut open too. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I'm going to say your name wrong. Steph sells stuff by the seashore. Listen, her name's harder to say than mine.
Baby, if you ever come to my sale, you're just going to be Steph because there ain't no telling what is going to come out of my mouth if I try to say all that.
Oh, Steph, make sure you go to Miss Pamela's sale on Saturday night.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'll probably get demonetized over that one.
Where does everyone get their poly bags from? You pack and ship.
Yep.
I have a local source.
That's always good. You pack and ship is a small business. So that's where I get mine from. They're cheap and they're good.
Yeah.
My neighbors must think I'm ridiculous. I got this big truck, pulls up and starts plopping out these big things of bubble wrap.
I will say, as a reseller, it's a really good idea to have some of the large poly bags on hand. Like you can get huge poly bags. Like if you're shipping Afghans or quilts. So those are always good to have on hand. I did, and it took me a while. to
Trash
figure it out.
bags too.
Yes. I think so too.
Not scented ones.
No.
Don't do scented ones.
No, I mean I get those for my house, but
Yeah,
can
same.
on your things. Yes, I think it's important too to reuse all of your packages. Like you know how you are, Miss Pamela. Are you at Christmas time when you're like, oh, you got an Amazon box in your gift?
Oh yeah, yeah,
I want that box. Like
yeah. I am a box thief, honey. I'm a box thief.
It's like, I want that box.
Yeah. And I'm not opposed to going across the road to the little Crimson Tide shop. I'm not opposed to going over there at night and filling my trunk and my back seat up when they get through unpacking during the day.
Good. Well, I get box out of the post office's trash can.
Mm-hmm.
With exception. I'm sorry. I am gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. Is that I think that there is a point
I know
when something should no longer be recycled.
Yeah.
Because if I spend good money on something and I'm just like, what? Like I have to throw it away. Do you know what I mean?
Boxes do lose their integrity.
Yes, they will.
Yeah.
So do keep that in mind. Like we all want to be environmentally conscious, but at the end of the day, like it kind of gets a little like, you probably should have thrown that out,
Yeah.
Well,
recycled it.
It's just like the bits of paper. Like
I can't with that. I can't.
The shredded papers.
I can deal. I got like the old school, like what was it, Excelsior, but it's like paper now.
Yeah.
I can deal with that. But when it's like bits of like ripped up paper that's just like thrown, don't do like that's kind of rude to I don't care. I think it's rude. I said it. I think it's rude. Like I can't, like, to me it's just like throw that away. Like
no one wants their treasures in a crusty box.
No.
Throw that away.
Listen,
like I don't want debris.
Michael
I don't want
is a
refuse.
germaphobe, though. He is
No,
a big
it's not even. Look, I'm even gonna try and play it. It's not even about germs. It's about I'm not opposed to newspaper. I'm not opposed to and you can tell when packing paper has been used more than once, twice, or three times. I get it. That's cool, but shredded up paper that's literally no.
Don't
newspaper is a big no for me.
Yeah.
I will
well,
use it as packing paper.
I will use it as packing paper too. If I don't if I have it, if someone sends it to me, I'm just gonna reuse it because I feel bad throwing it away. So I'm just gonna reuse it. But I don't wrap an item in it. I won't use it to wrap because I don't want the ink to get on it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I will use it. I will use that. I'm missing a whole bunch of stuff here. Oh, Mike says I got things showing up in a cornflakes box.
I mean,
that's not a very thick box.
No, if it wasn't breakable, I'm okay with it. Truthfully.
Yeah.
Tacky.
Oh, Virginia, I saw. Hello, Virginia. I didn't see you pop in. I saw Randy say hi to you, but I didn't see your comment.
We're exploding New England thrifters' head. Just want pointing that out there.
We're what?
We're exploding New England thrifters' head.
Oh, we are.
Too much to remember.
We're exploding your head. I don't want to explode your head. I think that it's important to use, if you're reusing a box, to make sure that it's still structurally sound.
I do too.
Yeah. And Michelle over there is my angel for boxes too. In fact, I had to have her send them to somebody else this time because I still had so many. But yes, Michelle, you are amazing.
Linda says, why the hell does the post office only do priority boxes for free? I know. And the medium flat rate boxes, that's the perfect size box. But you have
do you know what I've started to do? Wrap it in brown paper. But you have to be smart.
Yeah.
No, here's the tip. Here's the tip that I got from the postmaster. Are we ready for this?
Okay. We're ready.
So on the priority boxes, they have barcodes, right? And they also have like those, what are they called? Like the weird little like digitally looking things that they can scan.
Right.
Okay.
QR
Those
code.
have to be completely sharpied out. What also has to be sharpied out is priority. Okay. But provided, and then you do have to wrap it in brown paper. But if all
If you're
of
going
those
to do that, just put it
identifiers,
in a bag so you get box in a bag rate.
or you could do the box in the bag too. You 100, and I found that out. However, if you do not Sharpie out those identifiers completely and the box becomes opened in some way, they will then charge your buyer the priority rate price difference.
Yeah.
But you can take that Sharpie and Sharpie it all out.
I think the bottom line is what Michael is saying is to go and speak with your postmaster.
Yeah.
I always think that that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I love my post office. I have
Because it is in their manual
I have a
that
good
if it
post
is
office.
modified, then it is regular priority rate. But not every postal person knows that, and some of them will shoot it back. And
Yeah, I think because I've actually gotten packages that I've ordered from people, and I've had to pay the extra shipping. So be very, very careful. And I've never made a stink about it because I don't know. I mean, it wasn't that much, but still, you have to be careful. You have to be careful, and I think it's a good idea to be friendly with your postmaster.
Yeah,
I do too.
Because they don't like write all these laws and stuff. I mean, they're just trying to do their job just like we are. So,
amen to that, Jamie. Do not go to the counter at the post office.
No,
Ever.
oh, no. Now listen,
Ever.
I do if I have like 4 or 5 things and there's no line, but I just lay them on the counter and then I leave. I don't hold up the line. I just lay them on the counter. And that's what I'm saying. If you build a relationship and I'm there every day, so they see me, they know what I do. They're just like, yeah, go just lay them over there. But like today I had 7 IKEA bags and I just pull up to the back, get a cart. Now I do get a little huffy if there's not a cart because then I have to lug them all up. But you have to talk with them and see when their carriers have already left, and then there's plenty of carts available. So talk to them and ask them what would be a good time for me to come to the back and unload my packages. And yeah, if you talk with them, they're not big scary people.
no.
They'll work with you.
And then here,
I do go to the counter. I go to the counter. Misty knows. I do go to the counter, but here's the thing: I will not go to my local post office. I won't. I will not. No. And because that's the point that Jamie is making. However, I am very fortunate that I have found one that is literally right outside of my job. I can take 20 boxes in there and be out of there within 10 minutes. 20 boxes and be out of there, including internationals in there, and be out of there in 10 minutes. Like,
so I was going to say is like here, and I'm, it's like we all have our own little thing, but like here we have like a main hub. And at the main hub, there's a bulk mail drop off where literally you back up, you roll up the door, you put it in the bin and you boogie on your way. Whereas if I go to the one that's local to me here, I have to traipse them all in and sometimes put them in the little drop box thing. And but if you can find one that has the bulk drop off, if you have a lot of packages, that's golden.
Yes, it is. And I think just if you're going to do anything this week, go in and talk to your postal worker and ask them. I sell online, and sometimes I have a lot. Now, you can go to the back if you have a prepaid label.
Right.
If you're buying a label, if you're going there and you have to go to the counter then. But you don't have to have a Rollo printer. You can just print it on your inkjet or your laser jet and cut it out and tape it on your box. You can do that. I did that for years before I invested in a Rollo. Now I couldn't imagine doing it without a Rollo.
Rollos. I got my second one.
Just the greatest. They're the greatest thing ever. So just talk to your post office. They're nice people for the most part.
Did you see Gino's comment?
No. What do you say?
Post office people are very scary. I heard of people disappearing after asking a question.
Oh no. I love my post office. I love my post office.
I love mine too.
And then sometimes I purposefully go in there just so I can, hey guys, I don't get out much. I go in and say hi to my postal workers. Can you explain the right way to do a box in the bag? Michael, do you want to take this one? Or Danni? Or Miss Pamela?
Because I know, but I don't do it. So since I don't do it, we'll let somebody who actually does do it.
So here's the thing with box in a bag. So first I'll go back and explain why it's such a discounted rate. It is because they're putting in this new sorting equipment that can process that plastic bag faster than a box. So they're encouraging it. And, I've seen different talks about this, but as I have been doing it more and more and more and receiving more and more, literally the box just has to be surrounded by plastic. And it's 2 measurements instead of 3, like with a box. So it'll take the 2, like in Pirate Ship, if you first look at a rate with the 3 dimensions, when you click box in a bag and refresh it, it takes out one of those dimensions and then just goes by 2 dimensions. And it like gives you a ridiculously good price, and you go, that can't be right. And you'll refresh your screen like 6 times and double check, and yes, it's right. And it's
so
crazy.
What 2 dimensions would you put in? Like for a 10 by 8 by 6 box, what 2?
I shipped 3 today that are in 12 by 12 by 12 boxes. And I did box in a bag for 12 by 12.
Right.
Yeah, because you only have the 2 dimensions and not the 3.
And it took it from $26 down to $9.68.
Yeah.
But what if you had the 10 by 8 by 6 and it was something very heavy and you wanted to try to do that? And
it'll go 10 by 8.
The 2 biggest
But it can't be
numbers.
over 18 inches.
But it can't be over 18 inches, and it can't be over 20 pounds.
Yeah. And I will say though too, just be very careful when doing that. If you have a very delicate piece of glassware, I would not put that in a box in the bag, just because I myself would just be so scared that it would get tossed, because it isn't supposed to look like a box. It's still supposed to have like.
It can though. That's what I found out. It can, because it's about the way it processes through versus what it looks like. And
I guess the best thing is talk to your post office and ask them, because mine told me that it cannot resemble a box.
That's right. That's what mine told me.
So just double check, because you don't want your customer to get charged extra, because then you will lose that customer. It won't be.
Can I want to piggyback off of this, because it's very interesting, because Danni is having one experience at her post office. Misty and Pamela are having a different experience at their post office. I personally have a different experience than what I'm seeing some of the people in the comments so far as modified priority boxes are. And that, unfortunately, is something that USPS, irregardless of how you are choosing to ship, needs to fix. And that comes in through the training of their clerks, of the people that you are interacting with.
Yes.
You should not be in a position to know what USPS's policy is and have to explain that to a clerk, nor then should you be put in a position where you're saying, then let me talk to your postmaster. Do you know what I mean? Because there are certain things that you absolutely can do, but the clerks don't know.
They don't
you know what I mean? And it really is important, if you are going to do reselling and you're going to be taking in a lot of boxes, to know what you can in fact do. So, and there's just, unfortunately, there's not consistency, because there's not consistency in training. There's not consistency in staffing, shall we say.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And I agree. The postal workers are overworked and underpaid, a lot of them. My brother is a postal worker. So they really are. But I think that like Michael said, you're getting a lot of really kind of 3 or 4 different answers to that one question. So I think
Right.
your best bet is to ask your local postmaster, not the counter. Just say, I have a couple questions about shipping. Can I talk to the postmaster?
The thing is, if I ship it here, it's still going to go to another, you don't know where it's going to get caught.
Right.
But I'm just speaking from experience that I have now been using it and receiving it and have not had an issue. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Same.
Let's see. I'm going back up to look. Daniel said, I also read that it has to be the measurement of the bag before you put anything in it.
That's what they told me too.
It's supposed to be, yes.
Yeah. So that would just be 2 measurements because you don't have the height. And then Tippy Winks. Hi, Christy. How important is an Instagram presence in relation to growing your channel? I think it's huge.
I think it's big.
I mean, now, Michael and I, we've befriended several Instagram vintage resellers that we love dearly. And, speaking with them and, the demographic is a lot younger on Instagram. So, if you're wanting to bring, you can bring in a whole new demographic of people that are, younger. Because, all these youngsters are going to fall in love with some Miss Pamela. They will, because you're going to be that Auntie Pam that makes them feel,
Oh,
like
thank you.
So I think that it's important. I'm not saying that you have to have, I think posting daily on Instagram, several times a day, it is helpful just to getting your presence.
Okay. You had me at once a day.
Yeah.
You was hanging in there right there, wasn't you, Danny?
Once you start doing it, it's just so fun. It really is. Now, I honestly don't. I've had sales on Instagram before, and I prefer just doing them by myself because of the chat. When you're doing a sale with somebody, the chat for us old people is really hard to see.
Yes.
So that's the only drawback to having a live sale on Instagram to me is how small the chat is for us old eyes. I have to see it bigger.
I just struggle with the darn hashtags.
Well, you use them in your YouTube videos, right?
Just a couple.
Like
3.
I use as many as I can.
I know. And I know that, and I have a millennial daughter telling me when I'm doing it wrong.
Oh, well, she'll always tell you that you're doing it wrong, though.
It's like, well, yeah, isn't something better than nothing? She goes, no. I'm like, why?
What?
Yeah, so I'm very nervous about Instagram and messing it up and not doing it right and not doing the right hashtag.
I agree with your daughter. Do you know what I'm saying? It's the person that. Have you ever met somebody and it's like you've been listening to them for like 2 hours and it's like they said absolutely nothing to you at all? And then there are other people who you've listened to for 5 minutes and you feel enlightened.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not how much you have to say, but what you have to say that is really going to drive people to your Instagram. There are a lot of mathematics that go into both the YouTube and the Instagram algorithms, which are both computer programs. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it is people and people that you are interacting with and people that you are trying to reach. And it is the impact that you have on those people that is really going to make the difference. So you can use and manipulate the algorithms as much as you want and look at the statistics and look at all of the analytics. And at the end of the day, it is people that are going to make the difference. Have something to say, even if it's a little bit, and make that little bit something important versus having a whole lot to say and it being nothing but nonsense.
Yeah.
Right.
And Wendy, the hashtags are basically like when you are on Instagram, the hashtags are where you will show up in the algorithm on Instagram. So if you are only wanting to follow, like, if you're involved, if you're really interested in vintage and antiques or Fire King or Pyrex or Viking glass, you can do all those hashtags. And then when you go on Instagram, those sorts of things that you have searched for are going to start showing up in your feed as like a recommend. There is like a whole hashtag of Fire King. And so it's like has thousands and millions of views. And so if you use that hashtag, then you're trying to sell Fire King, then your item's going to show up in that round of hashtags.
And also, if you're looking for something and you're a buyer out there looking for something, you can search hashtag whatever, hashtag vintage Christmas. And every post but you have to be careful when you do that and go and click the recent, because for some reason, the hashtag post always brings up the top. Well, that top one may have been 5 years ago, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So you always have to go to recent, and the most recent things that people have posted concerning vintage Christmas will come up right there for you to see all in one page. You don't have to scroll through Instagram looking for what you like or anything.
Sheila, you can do it, girlfriend. You can do it.
Oh.
All the faith in you, Sheila.
Look, it ain't any more difficult than being up on the YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, you got a Google account. You had to have a Google account to sign up for a YouTube account, you know, and then you figured out how to watch. You figured out how to hate using hashtags. I mean, I'm not mad at the hashtags. I agree with that.
As a reseller or as a Michael hates this word, as a content creator, it does bring people into you that didn't even know you existed. Just because you're using that hashtag, then your post is showing up.
I get the concept of them. It's just sitting there like, I just want to get the picture. Like I got my little description that and then I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta add the hashtag.
Right. And you shouldn't use the same ones in the same order. You need to do, like, I used to just copy and paste it, but you shouldn't do that.
No, you shouldn't do that.
But yeah, I mean, I use as many as I can, but sometimes you're just like, I'm only gonna put 2 in. I don't care. I'm just gonna put 2 in it. Bree says you need to do an Instagram tutorial with Jordan.
We did one.
I'm trying to convince Emma. I don't know when she's going to do it. She's my daughter is a social media marketing major. She graduates in December. So I would love for her to do some sort of like an Instagram video of some sort, but
I would love that.
For old people.
Yes, for old people.
Yeah.
For us technically challenged, okay?
There you go, technically challenged.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, we are from the era where that hashtag used to mean pounds, okay?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Number, yeah.
Crystal, and the more you use Instagram, the better it gets. Now, listen, I have tried the TikTok and I do not like the TikTok. I have aborted the TikTok. I don't understand how to do it. I'm not
a TikTok fan. I'm not a fan of the TikTok either, Miss.
I have deleted it from my phone. It is not even there anymore. I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't like it. So we all have our things.
Yeah.
TikTok lets me know what my adult daughters are up to. I'm just saying.
Yeah. That's true. That is true.
I would enjoy Instagram a lot more, I think, if I could get the reels and the little movie things, the little short movie things.
IGTV.
Yeah, if I could get those.
You can.
The reels are a pain to figure out at first.
Yeah, they are. I'm going to go ahead and tell you from firsthand experience, if Kelly, Michelle, and Mark wouldn't have bought my phone and I'd have bought it for myself, it would have wound up in the middle of Highway 43 last week.
I believe it.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Now listen, I don't know if, Sarah, the traveling button, needs to do a YouTube video about Instagram. Sarah, I don't know if you're listening, watching. The people want you to do. Sarah is an Instagram guru.
Look at Nate.
What did he say?
TikTok. Look at Nate's TikTok comment.
Where'd he go?
Wait a minute.
TikTok is good for hot shirtless foods. Well, I mean, sure. But so is, you can see a lot of TikTok on Instagram.
You can. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm all about looking at the shirtless.
See, and I'm like, okay, what are your search terms? That's not what's coming up on mine.
DMs. You just go knock, knock.
What were you gonna say, Danni?
I said I want to know what's in his search terms because that's not what's coming up on
That's
mine.
not what comes up on mine.
Daniel did do a video. Yeah, I watched it live. Okay, Daniel. If I remember, remind me, Daniel. I'm going to put it in my community tab. Daniel and Sarah did an Instagram kind of tutorial video.
I missed that.
I'm going to write it down. Hang on, because I'll put it in the community tab. Hang on, I got my calendar here. I'll put it in the community tabs.
Ooh, it's going in the calendar.
Huh? Well, I'm putting it in my calendar so I can make it. I have to write it down or I'll forget every 5 minutes. Yes, I watched that video. It was good. What did Kelly Michelle said? Pamela, don't you dare! You'll be running little shops. Oh my gosh!
I would never.
I'm looking up here. So make sure that if you have any other questions, we're about 10 minutes before pumpkin time. So make sure that you get any questions that you have in. Yeah, I don't understand the TikTok. I can't.
I could never get that.
I'm
just going to stick with
thing.
Instagram and count myself lucky if I get the ins and outs a bit down pat.
On Instagram, it will tell you how many people have posted to the hashtag you're typing. So the hashtag has less posts. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. That is true.
See, and I always thought you wanted the one that had more because then
not always.
You've been doing it wrong.
Not always. I enjoy doing the reels on Instagram too. I've had a lot of fun with my new little buddy, my new little buddy that Sarah sent.
Remy, you can do reels.
Mm-hmm.
I'm slipped behind. I'm back here.
You're making Miss Pamela's head explode.
I'm back here on the caboose, and everybody else is up there in the engine with the conductor.
Oh.
No. I'm running trying to catch the train, Pamela. You're good.
Okay.
Y'all in that thing, you know what I mean?
The little hand car.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, Tiger, send me a millennial. I got room and board for a week. No better make it a month.
Some shirtless one.
Send me one.
Michelle said that she finally bit the bullet and listed some things.
Well,
my
good. Congratulations, darling.
And my $2.50 item sold for.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
I love that. See,
Get
Michelle,
that profit.
now all you'll want to do is list.
That's right.
That's all you'll want to do.
She got bit. Yep. She got bit.
That is so good.
I mean,
especially that's the first one. Ooh.
Yeah. When I first started selling on eBay, like back in the 2000s, I would go, I'm like, I don't want this anymore. Take it off my wall. Sell it. I don't want this anymore. I'm thinking I want to do something different over here in this area. I'm going to take this down. Yeah, that's so awesome. Yay.
That is awesome.
If your account is private, are hashtags worthless?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're posting things, but not if you're searching for things.
No, not if you're searching.
Well, she's like, if your account is private, it doesn't matter if you put a hashtag in because nobody's going to see it other than the people who are following you. So I would recommend if you're kind of on the fence as to whether or not you may open it to the public in the future to use the hashtags, because once you do, they will become available. However, if you've been on Instagram for 2 years, that post shows up in the order in which it is put into that hashtag. So do keep that in mind though too.
Did you see Nancy said that she?
I did, and I'm game, honey. If you're game to get him down here, I can handle it.
Let's see. I had seen, And Jamie says, if you're growing a business, you shouldn't have a private account. That's true. I mean, you can have a personal account that's private, but then your business account not be private. I just lost track. Could someone loan me a millennial child? Well, Tiger, Nancy will. Nancy says, you send your son.
I'll send you Michael as soon as he gets through here in Alabama, Tiger.
Nancy, girl, you got you a whole new revenue stream.
There you
Rent
go.
that kid out, girl.
I was just thinking, like, it's almost like an Airbnb of millennial renting out.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I'm just trying to see. What am I missing? Look, I'm like old lady looking at this. Looks like I can barely see it.
I do the same
I
thing.
just saw something in caps.
I see. Oh, wait.
You know what? This is a good point too, Lucinda.
What?
If I see that someone else is following me and I'll go and I'll try to follow them back. And if it says it's private, I sometimes will not follow if they're private. Yeah. I don't know why. Why am I like that? It's like I feel like
you don't know what you're getting into. It's social media.
That's true. So I guess think about that. You know, I tend to not follow accounts that are private.
What's the advantage?
That's right.
Private. That's true.
I mean, I get it if you literally just have Instagram and the content, the things that you are posting are meant only for. You can have a private account and follow whoever you want, and you can see all of their posts. Mm-hmm. But if the people that are following you are just like your family and your friends, of course, and you're posting things of private, intimate family events and the kids, and you don't want the general public, of course that makes sense.
Yes.
You know, you don't have to have a public. We're just saying if you're going to do a business, it has to be public. Yeah. Unless you're doing like really fancy, exclusive, like high end stuff, and you literally, because there are Instagram accounts out there. It's invite only. Now, I'm not saying that exists in our community, but in other genres, there are invite only accounts. So you could run a business that way, but it's going to be an uphill battle, and you're going to have like the creme of whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree too. I need to change my name to a business name. Yeah, I think that's a good idea too. Yeah. Deanna says, I'm a buyer and you recognize my name. Yes, we do, Deanna. When you see you, I like seeing you when you come.
And your avatar even, girl. What are you talking about?
Do you use stories to promote your sale items, or do you just I do both. I do everything.
Same.
Stories, reels, sometimes even going live. Like I went live today on Instagram and gave a preview. And also, the beta testing is ending at the end of this month, but you're going to be able to start getting monetized on Instagram as well. I've been monetized for a couple months now. They did a beta testing, and they just kind of picked random people. I was fortunate enough to get chosen, and like the first time I went live for 15 minutes, I got $100. Second time I go live for 50 minutes, I got $150. Third time,
no way.
Yeah. And then they're called badges, and they're sort of like the super chats. And right now, this is going to change, but right now Instagram wasn't taking a cut. So I got all of that money. Like when someone sends me a badge, I get all of that money. Like YouTube, Google takes 30% of anything that you send. That will change. Instagram will take a cut. But in some of my IG stories, you'll notice commercials. Now I don't put them in. Instagram does all of that.
I've noticed. Yeah.
And Katie, I don't know how many sub or how many followers or anything. There wasn't any rhyme or reason, because some people had a lot and some people didn't. I don't know how they chose people. And I don't know what the what's the word I'm looking for?
Requirements will be.
Yeah, I don't know what the requirements will be
I mean, Facebook requirements are really high.
They are.
So,
They are. I know Jocelyn's monetized on Facebook, and that, I mean, it wasn't the easiest even for her. So I mean, it I don't know what the requirements will be, but I know that
40,000.
Yeah. I know that on Instagram, that ends the 30th of August. So I don't know if they're going to roll something out after that, but it was just kind of a beta testing.
That'll be interesting to see what they do with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really do Facebook. I don't really get on there. It's too political for me. I just don't enjoy it. I get on there every once in a while, mainly to just see what's going on, like with like people in the real world that, that I see. But
I run a group. That's my main thing with Facebook, is running my own group and trying to stay away from other stuff.
Yeah. How much are Instagram badges? They are like, just like it can be any amount. It's just like the super chats. Super chats.
Oh, that's interesting.
No, Katie.
Well, they're replacing it with click buttons instead.
What?
I worked hard for my swipe up.
Well,
though.
no, you're still. I'm sure it's just not going to be swipe. You just have to. It'll just be click here instead of swipe here.
They did one thing that they did add too, and I've added it. Like, I've added my Teespring store that you can click on it and it'll take you directly to buy merch and stuff. But yeah, that's something new that they've added. But yeah, Instagram is a lot of fun. I really enjoy Instagram. The only thing that I don't like the sale platform to do like a live sale on it. On that. Oh yeah, you can buy a badge for 99 cents.
Oh, okay.
Up to $4.99.
Yeah, but yeah, once they start taking like 30%, you'll get pennies. Anyway, it's just a button now. All right. Well, it's pumpkin time. It's pumpkin time.
Pumpkin time.
Yeah, it's
pumpkin chunkin'. Do you have pumpkin chunkins where y'all live?
But I want to go to a pumpkin chunkin'. I've heard about it.
Come on down, sister. Come on down.
I'm growing pumpkins.
Well, you want to have your own. It's to see who can throw the farthest pumpkin.
Company picnic ideas.
Pumpkin chunkins.
Yes, everyone. We can have a pumpkin.
And the patty drops. Do y'all ever have any schools or anybody that does the patty drops where you, like in a football field, they do it off like a checkerboard? And you bet on where the cow's going to poop?
No!
Yes, honey. The patty drop. Yeah.
Oh, Kelly Michelle's probably going there, Mama.
That's awesome.
No, we don't do.
We do all those things in the fall, honey. We're just down here pumpkin chunking and patty dropping all over the place.
I'm in Vegas. I'd say there's got to be another version of that here.
Yeah, I was gonna say in Vegas it's probably called craps, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bessie Bingo. Oh my gosh, that's so. Look, yeah, there she is. There she is. Mama.
I know she's.
Anyway, you guys, this was a lot of fun. Thank you guys. Yeah. Thank you so much. Everybody that was participating in the chat.
Yes, thank you all for coming.
We always want this to be not just like the 4 people on the screen, but everybody in the chat to get ideas and talk to one another. So that's always the hope that we're able to do that, because we are a community and we all like to just kind of share ideas and bounce ideas off of one another, and try to be supportive of one another. Sometimes, give each other a little swift kick in the butt sometimes, or, a nice shoulder to run to. So I think that's a really important thing to have in this community. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate Danni. Danni stepped in for Dee. Dee had a commitment. Yes. He was like, oh no, I forgot. I don't think I'm gonna be there in time. So Danni so graciously stepped in. We're gonna reschedule another day for Dee to be on. And it's always such a pleasure to be in the presence of Miss Pamela Blanchard.
Oh, thank you, y'all.
And
it's fun for me. I love it.
This is a lot of fun. And of course, Michael, we all love him.
Yes, I get to see my Michael with his mustache.
I know. He's looking like You know, looking a little like he's going into the movie business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking it. I have to say.
I think I like it too.
I think you
looks
should grow a
good.
full beard like Santa Claus.
Because you know why?
Why?
That it takes a lot of time and it's a lot of effort and it's a lot of upkeep. And it just is. No.
I wouldn't
I can manage this. I will upkeep this. But doing all of that, and I've done it before, it's a lot.
It is
And
a lot
it's
of
too hot. It's too hot right now for all that mess.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I know. My husband shaved his beard off years ago, and I was like, "You grow that back right now." You get used to your man being, either clean shaven or non-clean shaven. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think everyone's liking the stash, Michael. Maybe the stash needs to
I think so.
Well,
grow
thank
like
you.
a curly one, like a little handlebar.
Oh no, Michael, no.
No, I wouldn't. No.
That's like a hipster. Hipsters do that, don't they? Don't they grow?
I don't know, no hipster.
No, Michael doesn't need to do that. No, you keep it like it is, baby.
Guys, make sure that you do go and you follow Danni, the niche lady. She's on YouTube, as well as Miss Pamela Blanchard, and Michael, the Cult of Vintage. All of their Instagram and their YouTube things are all listed in the chat. So make sure that you go and follow. There's just lovely people. And I hope that you come to our live sale tomorrow at 1:00 Eastern Standard Time. It will be Michael and I and Michelle Comfy Cozy Living. It's good. It's always a lot of fun. So I hope that you come. And thank you guys so much. And we will see
Thank
you.
you.
Bye, everybody.
We will
Good night,
be-
everyone. Thank you for coming.
Bye, guys.